Good evening, everyone, and welcome to United Neighborhood House's annual benefit and celebration, where we will be recognizing New Yorkers who make a difference. I'd like to introduce you to your host for the evening, Sway Calloway. Take it away, Sway.
Thank you and welcome, everyone. I'm proud to be here tonight in support of United Neighborhood Houses and the important work that they're doing to advocate for social change and promote New York's strong neighborhoods. Listen, y'all want to stick around for the whole 30-minute program tonight because we have some big moments in store for you. Number one, we got a special presentation from the first ever UNH virtual choir. We got acceptance speeches from tonight's award winners and an exclusive performance by Daniel Breaker. He's a Tony-nominated actor currently playing Aaron Burr in the Broadway production of Hamilton. And plus, I'll be jumping in to remind you all why we are here together tonight to support United Neighborhood Houses. There are people in our audience from all walks of life tonight, and with that comes many different capacities to give. So remember, whether you can give $20, $200, or $20,000, you're making a statement that you support UNH's mission to keep neighborhoods resilient and thriving for all New Yorkers. Donating has never been so easy. All you have to do is visit the Make a Donation tab right here on our platform, or if you're already in a comfortable seat, just grab your phone. I'll be sending texts from behind the scenes, and you could donate right from there. Tonight, we're gonna get UNH to its goal, and together, we're gonna make a difference. Here to kick off tonight's event is Bryna Sanger, UNH's board president and longtime supporter. Bryna is someone who has spent her career giving back to her community and inspiring the next generation of policy professionals. Tonight, she joins us from her lovely living room. Welcome, Bryna. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sway. It's our honor to have you running the show tonight. For the past 100 years, United Neighborhood Houses and its member settlement houses have worked together to strengthen and stabilize neighborhoods throughout the city's most challenging moments. When the 1918 flu pandemic raced through crowded neighborhoods, settlement houses were on the front lines responding to the crisis. In the 60s and 70s, when our city saw divestment and decay, they provided housing assistance, tenant advocacy, and food access. More recently, in the aftermath of September 11th and Hurricane Sandy, settlement houses were lifelines for people living in public housing and other hard-hit communities. Today, they are responding to the COVID-19 crisis by staffing youth programs so essential workers can go to work knowing their children are safe. They're operating new food pantries and meal delivery efforts in the face of crippling food insecurity. They're caring for older adults who face significant health risks and are grieving over the deaths of their friends. And they're providing remote support to children and families whose routines have been entirely upended by the crisis. At the end of the day, it's a story of neighbors helping neighbors, a concept at the very foundation of the settlement house movement. And United Neighborhood Houses is the keeper of that flame. And it continues to provide the table, the very network for its members to gather, share strategies, form a collective voice, hold government accountable, and advance the settlement house message. Now I'd like to welcome the executive director of the United Neighborhood Houses, Susan Stamler. She's a New York City native who has 4 decades of experience mobilizing grassroots support and lobbying at the state and city level on issues to make communities healthier and stronger. Let's all give Susan a warm virtual welcome. Please join me.
Thank you, Bryna, for all that you do to make UNH better and the settlement house movement stronger. Tonight, I'd like to recognize both of our honorees, City and Paul Balzer and Paula Del Nunzio Balzer, for your long-standing partnership with United Neighborhood Houses. And I especially want to applaud our 44 settlement house members who serve as the front door of their communities, working in over 680 locations, reaching more than 765,000 New Yorkers in order to build stronger neighborhoods. And during this pandemic, the strength of our settlement house network was put to the test. As COVID-19 spread, New Yorkers turned to their settlement houses for help. Our network has been there to hold New Yorkers together, and UNH has been there to speak truth to government about what neighborhoods need and how best to support them. As New York faces the daunting task of recovery, the Settlement House voice must be there to lead the way. Today's financial crisis threatens to leave New Yorkers without the services when they are needed most urgently. UNH calls for solutions that keeps our communities safe and New Yorkers employed, healthy, housed, and educated. And UNH will continue to do what we do best, bring people together to educate policymakers so they make informed decisions that lead us toward recovery. We must remember, even in our better days, too many New Yorkers, especially those who are Black and brown, have struggled to afford rent, food, and daily living. The COVID-19 crisis has not caused those inequalities, only magnified them. UNH and our members have been progressive leaders fighting for economic justice. And today, we affirm our commitment to serving as allies and leveraging what power and privilege we have to fight systemic racism. We have the chance to rebuild our city and state with the opportunities that can work for all New Yorkers. At this time, we need you, because it is in this work together that we can find hope. Thank you for joining us this evening. And now, I'd like to turn it back to you, Sway.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate you. The Settlement House movement is very lucky to have you both at the helm. So listen, you heard it from the source. UNH has been around from one pandemic to the next through some of New York's most difficult moments, and today they continue to advocate for better policies, find creative solutions to community needs, and unite Settlement House voices to create stronger neighborhoods. Make a donation anytime tonight so UNH can continue to support their members for another 100 years. Now, speaking of the members, if you work for a settlement house, I need you to put your organization's name in the chat and do it right now. We need to get some Settlement House pride going on right here, and I want to shout all of you out for making a difference in New York's communities. The Settlement House model works because your neighbors know you and lean on you for services that improve their lives. And I know this work isn't easy. That's why UNH convened nearly 200 peer groups, support sessions, and trainings since the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak. It goes to show you that we all need somebody to lean on. And on that note, UNH has something special in store for us tonight. To show their love for lifting and celebrating Settlement House voices, they have organized a network-wide choir to perform this evening. Introducing, for the very first time, the first ever UNH virtual choir. Enjoy.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend, and I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean
not strong.
I'll be your friend.
I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
You just call on me, sister, when you need a hand.
We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand.
We all need somebody to lean on.
If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry,
I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me.
You need a friend.
if you need a friend, call me.
If you need a friend.
If you ever need a friend, you can call me. Call me.
Yes, yes, yes. Well done. Well done. Bravo. Bravo. Okay, let that amazing performance remind you that together our voices make a greater impact. And that's why we're here tonight, to show you what it looks like and what it sounds like when we raise our voices in harmony. It's exactly what UNH was founded to do. I texted you a link during the performance. Click it to show your support for UNH's work. Your contributions will allow UNH to expand their programs and continue to mobilize the Settlement House voice. Now, as we move into the awards portion of our program, I'd like to welcome Eileen Torres to the digital stage. Eileen is the Executive Director of BronxWorks, a settlement house working for 5 decades to help individuals and families improve their economic and social well-being. And she's also the chair of UNH's Executive Directors Council. She will introduce our first honoree of the evening. Please welcome Eileen.
Tonight, I'm proud to represent BronxWorks and UNH's Executive Directors Council as I introduce our first honoree, City, represented by Ed Schuyler. At BronxWorks, we operate homeless shelters, after-school programs, senior centers, workforce development services, and many other programs that positively impact the lives of over 60,000 individuals and families a year. It was only a matter of time that the Bronx would become the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak. The primary emerging need we experienced was the need for emergency food. The request from families, seniors, and individuals for assistance was overwhelming. Fortunately, being part of UNH's Settlement House network, I participated in weekly virtual meetings that UNH convened for the executive directors. UNH also connected us with City, who at the time was preparing 1,000 fresh meals a day for New Yorkers not able to access healthy food. Through UNH's partnership with City, BronxWorks was able to distribute close to 6,000 meals to seniors, the street homeless, and families with children. Ed will tell you more about how City shifted their catering program to help the city's growing hunger crisis. I would like to introduce Ed Schuyler, City's Executive Vice President for Global Public Affairs, who will accept this award tonight. Ed, on behalf of BronxWorks and the thousands of New Yorkers you reached, thank you for making a difference in our communities.
Thank you, Eileen. I'm honored to be here with you tonight on behalf of City in support of UNH. Over the last 15 years, over 1,000 of my colleagues have volunteered for over 13,000 hours at 66 events at settlement houses across New York City. They've been tutors. They've taught saving seminars for children. They distributed holiday gifts. They prepared and served meals at holiday dinner events. One of my colleagues, Michael Berkowitz, a managing director in our Treasury and Trade Solutions business, has been a member of your board of directors for over 6 years. And we've worked together in times of crises. After Hurricane Sandy, we partnered with UNH to help rebuild the Ocean Bay community. And because of that partnership, the Ocean Bay Community Development Corporation is now a full and active Settlement House member of UNH with expanded programming for both youth and older adults. We're proud of this partnership and our collective ability to respond quickly and effectively to neighborhoods that are in need of both help and hope. But our partnership went to a new level with the COVID-19 pandemic. This crisis exacerbated food security issues for many New Yorkers, and we felt like we could be part of the solution. We had our Tribeca headquarters, which was essentially empty. We had a catering staff with nobody to serve meals to, and we were desperately trying to figure out ways not to furlough our workers. Over the course of many weeks during the summer, we put that catering staff to work to box 45,000 meals and worked with UNH deliver them to settlement houses across New York City. City is committed to this partnership, and we proudly support UNH and its settlement house members. We're working so hard to build strong neighborhoods to help New Yorkers recover and rebuild. We appreciate the recognition, and I'm proud to present myself with this award on behalf of all my colleagues who worked so hard. They are truly the New Yorkers who made a difference. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Ed. Man, we appreciate you. Now, City's meal delivery program definitely shows the impact corporations can have on their communities when they partner with organizations like UNH. Next up, I'd like to introduce Lior Yakubovich, Vice President of Education and Youth Development at CAMBA. She will be introducing our next honorees. Over to you, Lior.
Thanks, Sway. I'm excited to be here tonight to introduce our next honoree, a cherished member of UNH's Board of Directors, Paul Balser, and his wife, Paula Del Nunzio Balser. While I've never had the pleasure of meeting Paul and Paula in person, I can say for certain they've made a big impact on me and my work. Like many of my settlement house colleagues, for the past 10 years, I've had the joy of watching hundreds of CAMBA youth attend UNH's Harbor Camp, a waterfront education program designed to provide meaningful water-based summer camp experiences at no charge to thousands of children in the New York area each summer. Paul and Paula partner with UNH every year to make Harbor Camp accessible to settlement houses. And I can say from experience, they're not only contributing the funds, they're giving young people memories to cherish for the rest of their lives. The fact that by the end of the summer, our youth could speak confidently about topics such as estuaries and protecting our urban waters was always so impressive to me. Without programs like these, the youth we serve, whose parents don't necessarily have the means to expose them to maritime history or education, would never have had the opportunity of being enriched by such a vital part of New York culture. Paul and Paula, I know I speak on behalf of all my settlement house colleagues who have experience with this program. Thank you for the invaluable difference you've made in our communities through your generous support of this program. And as many know, your contribution to UNH and the settlement house movement goes above and beyond Harbor Camp, but I'll let you tell our audience that story. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite Paul Balser and Paula Del Nunzio Balser to the digital stage.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely lovely. I always say you can't know Paul for more than 10 minutes without hearing about UNH and the settlement houses. His enthusiasm for this organization just spills out of his mouth. So for me, it was very easy to join Paul in commitment to this movement. With UNH, it's clear that every dime we raise directly helps to strengthen neighborhoods and communities, especially those most in need right now in the midst of the recovery from COVID-19. So tonight, I am here to also champion Paul and all he has done to make a true difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers.
Well, thank you both for those wonderful introductions. I am a settlement house kid. My mother was involved with Hudson Guild, which is a 125-year-old settlement house in New York. And my father was a child psychiatrist. So I was raised in a household where the question of what would affect and make people's lives better was a key consideration. How do you affect people's minds? How do you affect the worlds they live in? Although I've personally always been in finance, in private equity, the settlement houses have intrigued me because what we do there really makes a difference. Settlement houses are a way to help New York City families and kids achieve things that government entities can't do on their own. education, nutrition, safer living, better housing, so on. And it's my opinion that's what makes it work, the community approach. UNH itself serves the critical role of negotiating the interrelationships between the settlement houses, their staff, the community they serve, and the funders. Somebody's got to do it, and they do it enormously well. That's why I sit on both the board of UNH and Hudson Guild, and have for more than 30 years. I believe the settlement house movement in the aggregate makes a huge difference, and that's important to me. Thank you for this lovely award. Take care.
Thank you.
Paul and Paula, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your decades of support. Our last award of the evening is brought to you by longtime UNH board member Eileen Margolin, chair of the UNH Board Policy and Advocacy Committee. Now, Eileen has worked in the public, private, and not-for-profit sectors of the healthcare and human services fields for the past 4 decades and has served on UNH's board of directors for as long as she can remember. And tonight, she will present UNH's 2020 Civic Advocacy Award. Take it away, Eileen.
I'm Eileen Margolin, and I'm a member for many years of the board of UNH, and I chair the Public Policy and Advocacy Committee of UNH. In that role, I get to meet many of the settlement house directors and staff and learn more about their work. As you all know, and you've heard about the various services that houses provide throughout the city to all of the communities they serve. But the other side, in a way, of what we all do, we being UNH and the houses and the communities, is we work extremely hard in advocating for public policies and services that support our communities, that are inclusive, and help us all build a better city and state and country. Tonight, I am proud to present the UNH Civic Advocacy Award, which honors an exceptional settlement house staff member who has demonstrated a significant commitment to building long-term community power through civic engagement and advocacy. Farah Salam goes well beyond her role as a community health and well-being coordinator at the Arab American Family Support Center. Farah was instrumental in creating and translating a COVID-19 resource guide. It's been a very important tool to help people know what their rights are and know where to get help. She's also worked especially hard in engaging the Bangladeshi community. She realizes and demonstrates that if people can't access information that they desperately need in their own languages, we lose them. She understands the needs of people at a service level. She understands the public policy issues that we're confronting as a city, state, and country, and she knows how to link these together. It's my honor to present this award to Farah Salam. She's part of the new generation of people who in times like this gives us all hope for our future. I am really pleased to give her this award. Farah.
Thank you so much, Eileen. I want to begin by thanking the Arab American Family Support Center for nominating me and the United Neighborhood Houses for presenting this award. My name is Farah Salam, and I'm the Community Health and Wellbeing Coordinator at the Arab American Family Support Center. I am honored and humbled to accept this year's Civic Advocacy Award. I also want to extend my deepest gratitude to my supervisor, my team, my family, and the community that raised me. As the daughter of revolutionaries and immigrants from Bangladesh, my parents and grandmother have always taught me the importance of civic advocacy. In light of the racial and xenophobic injustices we witness and experience today, now more than ever, it is more important to fight for our rights and to advocate for those who cannot. Many of our neighbors come to the United States to find stability, but they are not guaranteed basic services under a social safety net without the threat of deportation or family separation. So, when our current administration threatens our immigrant and ethnic communities continuously by threatening to put a citizenship question on the census or changing the rules that determine who or who cannot be a public charge, we need to act. Without advocacy, our communities cannot receive what they need and instead will be further marginalized by systemically discriminatory policies that harm us all. My love for our communities and the people who I serve inspire me every day to do better by them. It is my goal every day to make sure that not only the South Asian, Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African communities have access and tools to resources, but that also all vulnerable communities have the tools that they need to survive and thrive in this city. This is just the beginning. There's more work to be done, but I am excited to embark on this journey and hope that you will all join me. Thank you again for this wonderful recognition.
Farah, 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 Farah. You give me hope. Thank you. We need more people like you engaged in their communities. This award is yet another example of how UNH is ushering a new era for New York's settlement house movement. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Daniel Breaker hails from Brooklyn and is a Tony-nominated actor currently playing Aaron Burr in the Broadway production of Hamilton. He's also appeared in the latest season of Showtime's Billions, The Book of Mormon, as Donkey in Shrek the Musical, Amazon's Mozart in the Jungle, and the movie Limitless. He is currently in the process of releasing his first album of original music, and he's about to show you why. Tonight, Daniel will perform an UNH exclusive rendition of the song, Rise Up.
I think kind of, especially during the darkest days of this pandemic, when it felt like every headline was another nail in the coffin, it was this group and the work that, UNH supports that made me feel kind of the most empowered that we could definitely, beat back COVID and really set New York up for recovery that's to come.
From the start of the pandemic, UNH has dug in and doubled down on our efforts to support our members.
Good morning, executive directors. We have a packed agenda. We're glad to see you all. Let's get started.
Hi, everybody. This is UNH's Aging Issues Group meeting.
Welcome, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, college access and prep friends.
United Neighborhood Houses, along with the Campaign for Children, has been convening youth services providers since the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis.
Basta ya, enough is enough. We are going to hold the mayor to his word.
Senior hunger has emerged as a key need during COVID-19. Settlement houses have been filling the gaps where the city's emergency senior meal programs have failed.
This is where we need to even rise higher. This is where we need to fight more. As a mother, I always consider myself a lioness because I'm going to fight for my children all the way.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, and we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise. We will rise, we'll rise up. Rise like the day, we'll rise up. Rise unafraid, we'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up. High like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up. High like the waves, we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you.
Yes. Daniel, thank you. Powerful, very powerful. Thank you so much, Daniel, for that beautiful performance. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're here to rise up for New York communities, for fair funding and policies that promote stronger neighborhoods. And we're here to rise up for the network of settlement houses, providing life-changing human services on the front lines every single day. Now is the time to support UNH in this critical work by making your contribution. Please get involved. And with that, I'll turn it back to Susan for our last remarks of the evening.
Thank you, Sway, and a very special thank you to the Viacom CBS team and UNH board member Gary Pagano for helping us produce tonight's event. I'd also like to thank our hardworking benefit committee and our board of directors for making our first virtual event successful. And to Lynn Applebaum, UNH's deputy executive director, and to the hardworking UNH team, thank you for all that you do to support our members and advocate for change. And to all the supporters out there tonight, Sway was right. Your donation makes a difference. Thank you, and back to you, Sway.
What a wonderful program. I want to say thanks to Susan. I want to say thank you to all our speakers, the award winners, and our audience members tonight. That wraps up our program this evening, but I would like to say I hope that you walk away inspired to learn more about UNH's impact in the settlement house movement. Listen, world, my name is Sway Calloway. I'm signing off, but once again, I appreciate the opportunity to make a difference with you tonight, and let's continue to make a difference. Y'all be safe. Peace.